It is time to talk about Zillow. So Zillow is probably the most popular app everyone uses to look for homes. But what if I told you that the $19 billion company behind it is facing scandals, lawsuits, and serious questions about transparency? Most people open the app every day without realizing what's really going on behind the scenes. In this video, I'm breaking down the controversies Zillow doesn't want you to know about, from alleged shady practices to lawsuits that put the company in hot water. I'll also share how you can protect yourself, my honest take on what all of this means for your real estate decisions. As I'm making this video, Zillow is currently being sued for several reasons. Check out this article by Reuters. Zillow, the largest online real estate portal, is facing a new proposed class action accusing the company of deceptively using property listings to steer home buyers into contacting agents working with Zillow and not the agent who listed the home for sale. Well, this is 100% true. Most people don't even know this. Zillow actually makes it hard for you to find the listing agent and their contact information because they do not want you to reach out to the listing agent. And here's why. Zillow acts as a lead generation platform for real estate agents who pay Zillow to receive these leads. So when you find a home that you want to see, Zillow sends your information to one of their agents because they aren't making money if you contact the listing agent. And that's where a number of problems arise. The agent that contacts you most likely is not even a local real estate agent and does not know anything about the neighborhood or the home. And that is why many buyers who bought with Zillow agents usually regret it. Let's be honest, a realtor who is willing to give up nearly half of their commission just to get a sale isn't going to be the best option for you. Do you remember the phrase, "They're not sending their best"? And Zillow is flooded with agents like that. A few days ago, I did a test of what a buyer experience would look like. So I went on Zillow, found one of our listings, and requested a showing. In less than 5 minutes, I received a text from a Zillow agent whose phone number was not even a local number. Then I went on MLS to see who this agent is. And guess what? I was right. She was not a local realtor, which means she wouldn't even be able to tell me anything about the location and the community where this house is at. She also sold only 4 homes this year in $400,000 price range, and our listing was priced at $1.4 million. But imagine if I'm a buyer from the Bay Area who would like to know what this area is like, get some local advice, something that listing agent or a local realtor would know more about. I would not be getting much from that agent because think about this. What value does a realtor bring to the table? In other words, what makes a real estate agent valuable? It's definitely not opening doors so that you can walk through the house and then maybe send you a few papers to sign. The real value lies in something else. And it's the agent's knowledge of the local market, their negotiation skills, relationships with local lenders and other vendors, and also their track record. But when Zillow steers you to work with an incompetent part-time realtor, you don't get that. I can almost guarantee that if you check out stats, you will see that people who bought with the Zillow agent most likely do not hire them to list their home when they sell. And that makes sense why these agents have to rely on Zillow leads because they do not get much of repeat business. Check out this recent article here. Zillow and Redfin may be steering home buyers into bad deals. Experts warn that the one-click home buying sites, Zillow and Redfin, are steering customers to platforms' own mortgage lenders, squeezing out competition and discouraging buyers from finding cheaper options. And here's how Zillow tricks people. If you go on Zillow right now and request a showing on a property, you'll notice that a check mark will be auto-filled, allowing Zillow to contact you for a home loan. You will actually have to uncheck that box if you already have a lender you're working with or you just don't want Zillow to contact you about home loans. But most people, of course, miss that. And that's another one of their traps for steering people to go with their preferred lender. So this is definitely something to watch out for. This next Zillow problem is something that I just recently learned about. And it's not completely their fault, but still worth mentioning. This one has to do with new home builders. So last week, one of our clients who's looking to buy a home sends us a Zillow listing of a home that she wanted to see. Here's what it looked like. Based on the pictures, property description, and price, This seemed like a great deal, and our buyer was excited to go see this home. Well, that excitement was very short-lived. Unfortunately, the house that is marketed on Zillow is not the house that's offered at that price, but a model home that has over $600,000 worth of upgrades. The actual home that's available at that advertised price is nothing like it. And some people, just like our buyer, feel like they're being misled. And it's hard to trust the information that's on Zillow after you experience something like this. And this brings us to another issue with this platform, and it's their property value estimates. People often rely on Zillow's estimate to see what their home is worth. However, these estimates are only algorithm and they can be completely off, so you shouldn't trust them. Here's an example. Let's say you have a house and Zillow says that it's worth $600,000. If you were to list that house for sale at $650,000, in few days, Zillow will show that your home is worth more, even if you have not even sold it yet. Or let's say a house in your neighborhood goes up for sale at $450,000 because it needs a lot of work. Well, Zillow will drop your home's value because of that listing. So you never really get an accurate valuation. Sometimes it can be somewhat close, but you should never rely on their estimate. If you want to know what your home truly is worth, you'd get a more accurate number from a local realtor or an appraiser than you would from Zillow. So with that said, what is Zillow good for then? Since it's such a popular app with millions of users every month. One good thing about it is that you can get access to a lot of data for free. And here's what you can use this app for. So if you're curious to see what homes are currently for sale, what has been recently sold, how many homes in a specific neighborhood, or if you want to get a general idea of what homes are worth, Zillow is great for that. Again, you're not going to get a very accurate number, just an estimate. You can also look up a specific home to find out the last time it sold and for how much. If you want to visit some open houses, you can also look up listings that will be open on a weekend. That's pretty much it. Use Zillow to look up data and scroll to satisfy your curiosity. And even then, take everything you see there with a grain of salt. But when you're ready to take action or need professional help, there are much better options and you'll get way better results if you work with a local professional. And if your goal is to make the right real estate decisions, which you won't regret later, there are many ways that are better than Zillow. That's just my opinion. So is there a chance that after all these lawsuits, Zillow will improve and become more transparent? I don't know. Nobody really knows. I'm all for transparency, and this business needs more of that. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't hesitate to send us your questions or share about your experience with Zillow. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, share it with someone and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next one.